I will give each of you now time to wrap up. Dr. Chee, I'll give you a minute and a half to wrap up. Time starts now.
You know, we've proposed this 4Y, 1N, 4 yeses and 1 no in this campaign. What we want to do is to, number one, suspend the GST at least until 2021. And then we want to implement, the government to implement a retrenchment benefit scheme. And third, we want to see the elderly, those over 65, at least the bottom 80%, receive an income of $500 a month. And we also want the government now to put the people first and to make sure that SMEs, not GLCs, are front and center of our driving our economy. The one no that we are making sure that we want to put across the Singaporeans is that despite the what Dr. Balakrishnan just said, is that this is a 10 million population figure that Mr. Heng Swee Kiat said, and I will give you the reference and the report.
He's just repeating
that he's going to, he's thinking of and toying with the idea because he cited the chief planner at URA. Now, these are huge issues. Now, how are we going to pay for all these things apart from some of the taxes where we want to levy, for example, introduce a wealth tax? And by the way, I just want to alert Dr. Balakrishnan, this wealth tax, some of his party members, MPs, have even agreed with us that some of these things should be implemented. So these are the things that we want to be able to do, and we're hoping that Singaporeans will vote for the SDP based on this 4Y1N campaign. Thank you.
Dr. Lim, your wrap up, a minute and a half starts now.
Thank you. So, I enjoyed the debate actually, and I think this is exactly why debates about ideas for how Singapore should progress should occur. And I think it's also clear from this debate that the PAP does not have a monopoly on the best ideas on how we should bring the society forward. Now, the PAP has argued that this election is really about giving them a mandate to bring the country out of this crisis. And they need this mandate in order to do so. Now, the truth is, the PAP, in all likelihood, will have this mandate by the end of this election. And I think that what we are trying to deny the PAP isn't a mandate. What we're trying to deny them is a blank check. And that is what I think this election truly is about, so that we can actually have this kind of debates, not just in a constrained form over a table, but actually in the forum which was designed for this, which is Parliament. So if you believe, and I call on voters, if you believe in having all voices heard, if you believe that we succeed only when we have sound and rational debate about what matters, if you believe in the essence of a democratic modern society for the 21st century, then we ask that you make your vote count and that you will vote for the Workers' Party.
Thank you, Dr. Lim. Okay. Mr. Yuen, please, your minute and a half starts now.
Thank you. I can't agree more with Jamus. Basically, we believe that there should be free contest of ideas, alternative solution, and constructive voices in Parliament. PSP believes in that. And I agree that from this discussion, you could see that we have the same issues, but we come up with different angles of looking at it. And it's good for Singapore to look at issues from different angles and have different views of what could be done better. For instance, for the economy, we have been, over the recent years, obsessed with growing our economic, driving GDP, and neglecting the welfare of the people. We believe that you drive economic growth for the better welfare of the people, so the quality of life is better, not the other way around. Otherwise, we won't have a first world country with a third world group of third world citizens in this country. So economic growth must be not at all costs. There must be the other side, the compassionate side, the social side we talked about. Building a safety net that is for all. We don't have to patchwork giving all schemes if we have a good economic structure that don't need it for the start. For instance, the CPF is soaked up by your HDB saving and healthcare, so much so that you have not enough fund for retirement. If we have good policy, we will have enough fund for retirement from the very beginning, as was intended for the CPF. We can even draw our CPF earlier, and there will be less hardship and no need for all this patchwork of giving subsidy.
Thank you very much. Time has run out. Dr. Balakrishnan, your 4.5 minutes to wrap things up starts now.
I'm afraid I have to deal with Dr. Chee's falsehood again. No 10 million. Fact. Next point. I don't think you have been open with our people. GST. You are suggesting abolishing it, or at least doing away with it, or suspending it for an undetermined period. Do you realize each year, at current rates, you will create a hole, therefore, of $11 billion every year, and you haven't accounted for it. You then throw away things like wealth tax. You've mentioned estate duty in your problem. Now, in all these things, have a care that you're not actually engaging in class warfare and you're not trying to divide our society. I believe Singaporeans remain a united, cohesive people, and we want to uplift everyone. Don't indulge in this. Don't take it out against people who, through no fault of their own, have been somewhat more successful. Jamus, I completely agree with you and Mr. Yuen. The PAP does not claim a monopoly on wisdom. The PAP is not afraid of an open contest of ideas. We do so in real life, during campaigns, we do so online, and we do it in Parliament. I hope you're aware that whatever the outcome of this election, there will be more opposition members in the new Parliament than the current Parliament. And these members, whether they win the seats or they come in as NCMPs, have full voting rights, including amending the Constitution and voting votes of confidence with or against the government. So we are completely open to this contest because at the end of the day, we're all Singaporeans and we do want a better life. Mr. Yuen, actually I object to this characterization that we have many third world people. That's not true. We are all Singaporeans. And as I've said, we've all come up. Now let's don't just take it on faith from me, but let's look at incomes, real incomes over the last 5 years. The median income has gone up by 3.8%. The real income for the lower 20th percentile has gone up by 4.4% over the last 5 years. We are completely in agreement with you that we need to raise wages. There's no disagreement there. But please be fair in your characterization. Please be accurate in your characterization. And I hope you agree with me that the only reason we have foreigners here is to give that little extra wind in our sails when the opportunities are there. Now, when we're in a storm and we need to shed ballast, as I said just now, 60,000 foreigners have lost their jobs. And all the schemes that we have rolled out now, I hope you agree, it's clearly slanted at Singaporeans. Being a Singaporean, being a citizen, has privileges. So let me just conclude. This is the worst crisis of our lifetime, right? And it's not going to go away in 1 year. It depends when a vaccine is found. What have we done so far? We've had emergency infusions to save jobs. We have moved 4 budgets to keep our businesses afloat, especially our SMEs, in order to keep jobs for our own Singaporeans. We have had emergency measures to protect our public health in these measures. We are continuing to accelerate this necessary transformation that our economy has to undergo because of the digital revolution. You asked about problems or slowdown or even challenges before COVID-19. Yes, those challenges are already there. We live in a tough world, superpower rivalry. It is a more dangerous world, a more disrupted world, a more divided world, and one where the technology stack is being divided, and one where the formula for peace and prosperity for 70 years is at risk. These are the brutal facts of life. So I don't promise any quick and easy answers. The PAP offers honesty, complete transparency. We will take all ideas. We will work with you. You can trust us. So please vote for the PAP. We do seek humbly your mandate, and we will emerge stronger and more united.
Thank you very much. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here tonight. Good luck to all of you on your campaigns. To all of you at home, thank you for staying with us as well. I'm Jamie Ho. Thank you and good night.